Hello and welcome to Grand Valley, one of the most expected, requested, anticipated circuits to come to Gran Turismo 7. This circuit has been on everyone's circuit wish list since the launch of Gran Turismo 7, and now that it's finally here, some people are ecstatic about it, but also completely disappointed, and that's because we did not receive Grand Valley Speedway. However, we received Grand Valley Highway 1. Now what a lot of people were expecting to see was Grand Valley come back to a game but receive a refresh, just a graphics overhaul, and bring it to modern day standards like how they previously did for Deep Forest Raceway and Trial Mountain. Now I'm going to be ashamed to admit, but when I first saw the layout of Highway 1, I thought, oh my word, we are receiving a brand new circuit, a brand new layout, and they just used the Grand Valley name. They basically clickbaited us into receiving the circuit. And it was only until I watched a video where it showed the side-by-side comparison of Grand Valley Speedway and Highway 1 that I realized all they did was take the original layout of Grand Valley Speedway and flip it to the right. Yeah, I'm actually ashamed to say that was the only time. So for about the first 2 days of the circuit being out, I thought it was something completely new. Now when I first hopped on, I thought, okay, is this really gonna live up to the Grand Valley name? And now with the complete overhaul of the scenery, it's a completely different location. But oh my word, am I in love with the new scenery. The entire background is absolutely picturesque. You're literally driving around the coastline and you can just see ocean. It's just miles and miles of ocean. And you think, okay, you're pretty close. Then you keep going and you just keep getting closer and closer. And on YouTube and in videos, you don't really get to experience the true amazingness behind the actual view due to compression, and it's such an amazing place to actually drive and just experience your cars. And the track is Grand Valley. For I'd say 80% of the circuit is a perfect layout of Grand Valley. The last sector of the circuit has been completely redone. That is nowhere near the original Grand Valley. However, it still has that very flowy feeling that Grand Valley gave away. But this is the biggest thing that has players up in arms, is the bridge. The iconic blue bridge is no longer a part of Grand Valley, and because of that, people are not saying this is Grand Valley. It's not Grand Valley without the iconic background. On screen now are just a few comments mentioning how people are upset about the changes made to Grand Valley, and I left the likes in there so you can actually see that they aren't alone. There are a lot of people who are upset about the new change to Grand Valley, and I want to hear from you. Are you part of the new set that is completely upset with the change to Grand Valley? Now I for one absolutely love the change. It's just the fact of it brings a street style circuit to the game, and that's what I've been looking for. Plus too, I love any circuit where I'm driving and I can see a gorgeous background. Now I love Saint Crux because I thought that was the most beautiful circuit in the game. This has completely knocked it out of the water. It's knocked it into the ocean that you can see while driving on the circuit. Now also with the layout of the circuit, as I said, it has a lot of the original Grand Valley in it. It has majority of the original Grand Valley circuit in it. But that's the thing, people weren't really focused on the circuit, they were more focused on the actual look of the backdrop. That's what really made the circuit what it was. Like let's take for example the Nürburgring. If we take the Nürburgring and we put it in the same environment as Willow Springs, it's not going to give you the same emotional feeling as it would if it just remained the original Nürburgring. That's basically what they did to Grand Valley, and it's honestly upset people. But if we put aside our differences, whether or not you like the circuit, is the fact that you can actually visit this fictional circuit in real life. On GT Planet, a user by the name of Yoi-san has put together a side-by-side comparison of the locations in real life to GT7, and on the left you will see GT7, on the right is real life, and you can just see how accurate it actually is. Now a lot of these pictures are actually taken in Monterey and Big Sur. Now these places are located on the California coastline, and you can see it in these pictures how accurately Gran Turismo managed to put it in game. And if you experience it, if you're lucky enough to experience it in that PSVR 2, it's like you're gonna be able to taste the salt water in the air. It's like you're driving down the California coast. I actually prefer this over the original Grand Valley. I find this a lot more impressive than just taking the original circuit and just remastering it. The fact that they went to the effort of trying to recreate these places as accurately as possible and still pulling it off and making it still have a great experience, the Grand Valley, and somehow placing the circuit and making it still line up with the background, making it all as if it was one place. That for me is a lot more impressive than just redoing the bridge with better textures. I know that's gonna upset a lot of people, but that's my honest opinion, and I feel like there are gonna be people out there that agree with me that what they have done is amazing work. And just knowing that the fact of I can go and visit these places in real life makes me feel some sort of way, knowing that these iconic locations are actually out there and I can visit it, makes a racetrack to me a little bit more special. Now on a side note, this is probably the new best circuit in Gran Turismo 7 for drifting. The way the circuit has its corners laid out, it is a perfect for you to get your car sideways. And on screen right now is some footage from the Gran Turismo Reddit page. The user's name will be on the bottom left corner, but I just want you to see what proper skill looks like around the circuit and how you can take the circuit incredibly well and get your car around these corners. The circuit was almost built with that in mind, and even if you aren't taking the circuit sideways and you're just gonna use it for purely racing, there are currently some really good events at the circuit. Yes, none of them are gonna make you a buttload of money, but the diversity between the events is actually really nice to see. They have anything from the classic historic masters all the way up to the Group 1 races. So there is honestly such a variety of races on the circuit that also adds a little bit everything for everyone to use on the circuit. So with all this being said, I hope you did go on to enjoy this video. Thank you so much for your time, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.